Black Moon Lilith was erased from the garden, cast as a demon. But she was never gone, only buried. Now she has returned, and this time she is alive. Hello everyone, my name is Genevieve. I am your host in Conscious Cafe Astrology. Welcome to this first episode of Asteroids in Astrology. This is a timeless series where we reclaim the forgotten bodies of the cosmos and the part of ourselves that we were never meant to be tamed. In this deep dive transmission, we are going to explore the wild and mystical passage of the Black Moon Lilith. In particular, when now she is in Scorpio from March 27 to December 20 this year. This is a rich transit with emotional intensity, transformation, and shadow healing. Today, we are going to look at who Lilith really is across mythology, astronomy, and exoteric astrology. The distinction between the four Lilith, the Black Moon, the asteroid, the dark moon, or Voldemort. What is the meaning of Lilith in your birth chart? And in this 9th month with Lilith in Scorpio transit, that will awaken, and why it is both beautiful and uncomfortable at the same time. The major astrology aspect in 2025. With Grand Cross in April, water trines in September and November. We are going to look at the rising sign guide of how Lilith will influence your birth chart, as well as Lilith in Scorpio. What are the practices for healing, reclamation, and working with Lilith energy in your daily life? That is so much more than just astrology. It is an invitation to remember your original power. If you feel her presence stirring, you are not alone. Please subscribe for more mystic astrology with me. You can also book your chart reading or Lilith sessions at my website, Genevieve/Cheung.com. If you feel like, please share this podcast with your friend in this awakening path. You are not too much. You are remembering the Lilith in you. Let us look at who is Black Moon Lilith, her origins, astronomical mystery, and exoteric power. Before she became a symbol, Lilith was a whisper, a trace, a tension in the stars. When we speak of Black Moon Lilith, we are not speaking of a planet or a rock in space. We are speaking of a lunar apogee, the farthest point in the moon's orbit from Earth, a gravitational absence a cosmic ache. She is not a body, but a phantom, a curvature in the moon's motion where distance becomes presence, and this presence becomes power. From an astronomical speaking, Black Moon Lilith is the empty focal point of the moon's elliptical orbit. There is no matter there. It is a calculated void. But it exerts force, like the soul, or memory, or desire. She exists in inference, not form. Lilith can be tracked in astrology in two distinct ways. The first is the Black Moon Lilith. That is a smoothed out, average path, the intellectual, consistent trace. The second is true Black Moon, the raw oscillation, fluctuating between direct and retrograde motion, is more erratic, emotional truth. Both are valid. Both reveal different tones of the same song. The mean can speak to how your Lilith integrates over time. The true Lilith is to how she pulses through you in moments of intensity. You may find them in different signs or houses in your chart. If so, please observe the tension between them. Where do you perform wildness, and where do you live it? We cannot talk about Lilith without touching her mythological roots, from Sumer to the garden and beyond. Long before she was whispered into Jewish mythicism or painted as a demon in medieval Europe, Lilith has more ancient roots. She may have originated as Lilithu, a class of Mesopotamian wind spirits, female demons associated with storms, sexuality, and disease. Yet, even these early portrayals may have drawn from a more primordial, unrecorded archetype, the untamed feminine, who reside in nature, not in temples. In the alphabet of Ben Sira, around 700 to 1000 CE, we find Lilith's best-known story. She was the first wife of Adam, created not from his rib but from the same earth. She was equal and sovereign. When Adam demanded dominance, she refused. She spoke to the true name of God, grew wings and flew away. That was not a fall. It was a flight, a refusal to become confined to patriarchal ideas of feminine. And from that moment, she was cast as demonic, not for causing harm, but for refusing silence. The rabbis said she mated with demons, that she killed children, that she seduced men. But perhaps she just remembered her own body too well. Lilith, was never evil. She was inconvenient. In medieval demonology, she became the succubus. In Christian theology, the temptress. In feminist thought, the first rebel. But in exoteric astrology, she is something much more personal. She is the place where you refuse to submit, the psychic scar where you won't be silenced again, or the wild memory of your first sovereignty before you learn to shrink. Lilith in astrology, she is the archetype of the reclaimed shadow. Black Moon Lilith doesn't point to pathology. She reveals what's been repressed. She sits in your chart like a nerve's ending. Where she lands, you feel exposed, intense, and awake. She is electric, erotic, emotional, and she doesn't lie. Her presence in your natal chart is where you hold primal truth, where societal conditioning may have told you to shut down. It is often associated with sexual energy. It is raw, unfiltered desire, not just physical, but creative and spiritual. Rebellion and exile is her essence. The place you say no more, or where you were cast out. She is about shame and suppression, where you learned you were too much and stopped being you. She is sacred rage, a fire that knows the difference between reaction and reclamation. In transit, she brings emotional unrest and also spiritual awakening. She doesn't make things easy, but she does make them real. To work with Lilith today is about deep feminine healing. Black Moon Lilith is not here to be tamed, but she can be partnered with. Her energy is especially potent in shadow work, in identifying where we were silenced or distorted. We work with her in sexual healing, in releasing shame, reconnecting with embodied pressure. She is a fantastic tool in working with our ancestral clearing, tracing the suppression of the feminine across generations. What about creativity? She can unlock the primal muse, painting with blood. And she is empowerment, especially for those identifying with or healing the feminine in any form. To work with her is to step beyond comfort, but not alone. She walks with you through grief, anger, erotic reclamation, and freedom. With this, now let us look at how Lilith influences you in your birth chart through houses, signs, and the sacred mirror of the shadow feminine. To know Lilith is to know a part of yourself that remembers, not through language, but through sensation, through instinct, through the silent trembling of truth beneath the skin. When we ask, where is Lilith in natal chart? We are actually asking, where in my life am I asked to reclaim what was once forbidden? Where do I carry the wounds of being cast out and the power of surviving it? There are two key layers to interpret Lilith placement. The first is the house Lilith occupies. This is the stage where Lilith themes play out. It shows the arena of life where your shadow's feminine energies are awakened, where you might feel more silenced, rejected, or enraged, but also where you carry the potential for the fiercest reclamation. The house answers, where is my forbidden voice seeking expression? Then we have the sign Lilith occupies. This gives the style, the flavor, the elemental force of how Lilith expresses herself through you. It describes how you embody your sacred defiance. Is she fiery and direct? Is she slow and volcanic? Is she whispering from the dream world or roaring through your actions? The sign answers, how does my forbidden wisdom wish to move through me? Now, let us look at some interpretive themes for Lilith in all 12 houses. If Lilith is in the first house, your body is political. Your presence alone can provoke a living embodiment of truth that might find unsettling. You are here to embody unapologetic selfhood, even when the world demands mask. It is about healing, to embrace visibility. You do not need permission to exist in your fullness. Lilith in the second house. Your worth is wild and sovereign. Issues of money, survival, and self-esteem carry hidden layers of power dynamics. You may have been taught that your value depends on obedience, but Lilith says otherwise. The healing we are doing here is about reclaiming your right to self-resources without shame. Your being is already worthy. Abundance is your birthright. Lilith in the third house. Your voice is a spell. Words are your magic, and they may have been silenced. mocked, or misunderstood early in life. Lilith in the third stir a radical reclamation of communication, storytelling, and intellectual rebellion. Your healing is about speaking your raw truth without needing it to be polished for approval. Lilith in your fourth house. You carry the ancestral fire. Home, roots, and family are battlegrounds for truth and survival. You are the one who feels what others deny, and you are called to heal at the foundation. The healing is about breaking inherited cycles of silence and fear, becoming the ancestor you needed. Lilith in your fifth house. Your creativity is sacred rebellion. Art, romance, pleasure, they are not frivolous here, but acts of defiance and survival. You create not to impress, but to live. Your healing is about reclaiming joy without guilt, allowing yourself to shine even when it threatens others. Lilith in the sixth house. Your work and your body remember the exile. Service, routine, and health become arenas where suppression shows itself. You may experience physical symptoms from unexpressed truth. The body carries what the voice cannot say. The healing is about honoring your natural rhythms over imposed structures, creating a life of sacred service, not servitude. Lilith in the seventh house. You are the forbidden mirror. In partnership, you become the one who shows what is denied in yourself and others. Attraction and repulsion often swell together. The healing is about choosing relationship where wildness is welcomed, not punished. Lilith in the eighth house. You are the keeper of taboo truths. Sex, death, power, and money. All the topics society fears. You understand them at a bone-deep level. You carry an intense magnetic force that others may both crave and fear. Your healing is about claiming your erotic, intuitive, and transformative power without apology. Lilith in your ninth house. Your truth is bigger than any doctrine. Spirituality, philosophy, and belief systems become places of rebellion and revelation. You are here to challenge dogma, to seek the wild, living spirit behind the dead words. Your healing is about trusting your inner compass over external authorities, becoming a teacher of embodied wisdom. Lilith in the 10th house. The world sees your untamed power. Career, reputation, and public image carry the weight of projection. You may trigger collective fears across success, leadership, and feminine sovereignty. Your healing is about stepping into visible authority, even when it feels dangerous. Lilith in the 11th house. You are the outsider who birthed the new world. Friendships, communities, and collective movements become places of both exile and innovation. You do not fit in. You are meant to reshape the belonging itself. Your healing is about building communities that honor your truth rather than demanding your conformity. Lilith in the 12th house. You carry the unseen wildness. Your rebellion is deeply internal, existing in dreams, subconscious currents, and spiritual dimensions. You may feel the pain of exile without obvious cause, carrying collective and karmic memories. Your healing is about honoring the unseen battle you fight, becoming your own sanctuary in a world that forgets the invisible. Across all houses, in every house, Lilith whispered, "What was forbidden in you, and how will you reclaim it?" She is not here to destroy. She is here to unearth, to reveal, to reanimate the primal soul, the one that has always known. You were never meant to be tamed. You were meant to bloom in the wilderness. So as a whole, how can we work with Black Moon Lilith in our healing journey into our primal self? Lilith cannot be appeased, but she can be witnessed. She responds to authenticity, not performance. To walk with her is to commit to inner truth, to our body truth, to not look away when discomfort arises. And here I have some practices to engage with the Lilith energy. First, we can journaling with the rebel self. You can ask, where in my life have I felt too much? What power do I hide because I fear being abandoned from it? What do I desire that feels shameful or unworthy? Let Lilith speak. She is unfiltered. Don't censor her. Or we can do through creative alchemy. Use dance, paint, poetry, or voice to express what the society told you to bury. Let pressure become a portal. Let rage become rhythm. Then we can use ritual with the womb or roots. These apply to all bodies, for the womb is symbolic as well. Sit in the dark. Light a single flame. Place hands on your lower belly. Breathe deep and ask, what do I need to forgive myself for? What truth have I refused to name? What ancestral energy am I carrying that isn't mine? Let what comes come. Let what lives live. And finally, I suggest earth practices. Lilith is of the wild. Commune with soil. Let your bare feet touch the ground. Visit caves, forests, or waters. These are her temples. The blessings Lilith brings is not a threat. She is the threshold. To walk with Black Moon Lilith is to walk without apology, to speak without needing permission, to feel without fear, to remember that you were never meant to be small. She is not a demon. She is your unlived power. In the next section, we will look at Lilith in Scorpio, where she becomes the dark priestess of your rebirth. This is the first of our asteroid series. May it be a torch in your caves, a mirror in your bones,